In this video, I'm going to show you what you need to do to get started on the scalable vector graphics for Web Design 2. Sorry that we can't be in class with this coronavirus thing going on. And I know that at least one person is asking me how do we get started on the project. And if you scroll down through all this, these are just samples of what needs to happen. What I would recommend is that you go to the W3 Schools SVG tutorial and take a gander of these examples. Go ahead and click on the try it yourself. It's going to show you how to get some of these graphics going. But basically, we're just writing code and we're going to end up with a graphic. So the best way really to sort of get things started, first of all, let's get that page going, the one that I say, you need a week 10. I'm going to go into my GitHub account and open up my repository as we've done in the past. Just make sure that it opens. I have low connectivity right now, but there it is. So it takes me to my page. It's showing me that I have templates week 2 and week 3. I need something that's called week 10. So let's start by, first of all, creating a new file. Create new file. And I know that I want the file that's called index.html inside a folder called week 10. So to get it started, I just type in week 10, week 10. I press the slash. That creates the directory called week 10. Now I can create an index page, index.html. I'm pressing enter. And now I have this blank file that I can work with, just like we've done before. I'm going to go back into the lesson though, and notice that somewhere in here it says embedding SVG and HTML. Basically, how are we going to get the graphics in there? So you can get this code that's already typed up. I selected the whole thing. I'm going to copy this, right click and copy. And I'm going to go back to my new file that I just created in GitHub. I'm going to right click and paste. If I can see it. If I can't, then I'll press Control V and that'll paste it. See if I can make this a little bit larger so that we can all read it. And it's just a sample code from the previous page. This is actually, it's going to have this text, a sample document with SVG image. And below an image, it shows you that it's doing this code. It basically circles the circumference at X and Y and the radius, and it's just drawing a circle. So I'm going to save this, commit the new file. I'll keep the comments in there as they are. And as you know, it'll take it 30 seconds to a minute before anything appears. So in preparation for that, I'm going to go to my page, which is the same name as my repository. I'll just copy that or tell it to just go to that. It'll open up a new tab. I have my idtprof.github.io, my username.github.io, and I know that I just created a week 10 folder. So I'll type in week 10, and because it's an index file, it will open it up automatically. So this is the same code. If I tell it to view the page source, this is the same code that I just copied and pasted. When you get going with this same code and playing with the code in the W3 schools, you will probably be just changing the stuff that's inside of these tags, the SVGs. It's creating right now a window that's 100 by 100, and then everything else goes inside. To have more immediate reaction, or as you're learning, or as you practice, if you want to do other stuff, you can also go to the CodePen page, codepen.io, and you can either sign in to your account or you can just start coding. This is all straight HTML, so I'm going to change the view to give me everything on the left side, so I have this to look at a little bit better. And I don't need JavaScript, so the JS goes below, and I doubt that we're going to do any CSS for now. So I'm going to paste that, Control V to paste it. It's loading up the whole document. It probably does need the whole thing. You don't need the doc type, etc., but it doesn't really hurt it. So it's showing me that it's got a sample document with an SVG image. Below is the image, it's right there. And then it's going to tell me that inside of the window, well, it's not going to tell me, it's going to show me that I have this graphic. So that I can start to change, instead of 100, or rather instead of 50, give it 100 and 100. And it will attempt to draw a 100 by 100. Of course, it's not going to happen because it's going to be much larger than the space I'm giving it. And that's something that will be explained in the lessons. So I'm going to go back and say, well, give me a larger space. Why don't you give me a 300 by 300? It's probably too much, but hopefully it'll be enough to show me a larger circle. So that's what we're doing just now. We're going to get started and practice with scalable vector graphics. Scalable meaning they can be small like this one is, so they can be a lot larger. I can start to say, hey, why don't you try something large in the space that we have? Why not 200? And then we can play along with it, learn how to change the colors, learn how to do different shapes other than just circles. There are squares, rectangles, and other things that we can draw. At the end, hopefully you have enough practice or enough knowledge to just say, yeah, I want to create my own image. It's not doesn't need to be something necessarily too hard. Of course, it'll be more than just a circle, more than a circle and a square. It's going to be, a combination of all these things. I do give you a sample at the bottom of the page where somebody drew a house, and you don't need to do the animation, although that'd be pretty cool. You can follow that link to see how this was drawn. You can, if you're going to do a house, make sure that it's your own house with maybe your own colors. You have different windows. Maybe you have a square instead of a circle. You definitely change the colors, have a background, and if you want to explore animation, by all means, do that. Let me know if you have any questions about this. This is brand new, and I wish that we were actually doing this at the lab because I think that this is where web design can become really fun. Thanks for watching.